So
Right.
maybe something like that. Again, from like a practicality perspective. Where we can, like, these are sort of like really generic little fantasy boots,
Right.
like,
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out something like what type of boots would be really good. Like those work, but I think that
there's a better,
there's something good, like really good we could do.
right.
Just look at boots, black boots. Oh, where is it? There's some websites that are always trying to like sell boots, boots by gender, women's boots. Oh, I should look up fashion boots, women's. Oh, you know what? Do you remember the boots that I had that I was wearing? With like the pockets on the side that were like kind of
Yes, those are
chunky. Do you
awesome.
want me to like go find those?
Yeah, that'd be great. Those things are great.
I think they're downstairs. One sec, I'll be right back.
Cool. I'm gonna take a quick break too. So I'll be right back.
More boots.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm back too
Thanks.
with boots.
Boots. Yeah, those are so cool.
Here, even better.
You say that's gonna be better. Now you've got
Well,
a
I can move the
can to the
camera.
camera.
Ow. Boots
Those boots were made for walking.
and stomping, dancing.
But
But the
yeah,
pouch is
the
quite nice.
pouch, yeah. Just so you're just sort of getting that in there. Like that plus like their nice long lace ups.
Yeah. Which is kind of traditionally witchy. So it's nice that it's like witchy plus more practical.
Right. Kind of the best of both worlds.
And then yeah. I just tried to scroll up on your stream. It's like,
Oh, I want to see up there.
yeah, no, don't, not trying to distract.
How do you think the chat feels every time we're discussing something from the Slack chat?
Oh,
Yeah, those are like good practical shoes.
I like them because they break up the silhouette of the leg in like an interesting way. No, that's not what I wanted. Thanks, tablet. Every once in a while, the tablet driver will hiccup and it'll just think that I'm pressed down.
Oh yeah, and we do love Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, but she's I think she has taken over the plain black dress as her own.
Yeah, she owns that.
I'm really liking this though. I think that I mean, are you still concerned about it seeming too much like a Toho character?
Am I still worried that it's going to look too much like a Toho character?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I guess I'm not
But
as familiar with it. It just
but it's I think we're getting closer.
Is there anything we can layer over the top of this to A, get some more vertical lines in there, and B, break up that just solid massive black a little bit?
Right. Well, yeah.
well, with the since with the illustration, it's not going to be
Right.
totally
We
a
haven't even
solid
talked.
massive, right?
Well, we haven't even talked about color.
Right.
Like that's yeah. I'm just using that to differentiate objects and yeah, like it.
Well, yeah, but like with even if it was a solid color, I'd assume that there'd be a lot of variation in the darkness and the if that was like a wavy dress.
Kind of just based on the lighting or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
But let's see,
Say
vertical.
getting some patterns on there could be cool. Like what about that actually might be a way to differentiate like my erase go. So we could even use vertical stripes as a pattern.
Right. Hmm.
What else might look good? Like that's maybe too vertical.
Yeah, my concern with that is it brings a little bit too much attention to that second waistline, which really brings out sort of the baby doll pattern of the outfit.
Hmm.
I was thinking more like a sash around the waist that maybe drips down.
Well, we haven't even talked about her bag yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of different ways that could be. Like, it could be a big, giant, shoulder slung bag. It could be like a fanny pack or like something like
Hmm.
like there's a lot of different sort of interesting things we can do. I like things that are attached to her body just because from like an animation standpoint, if she's dealing with shoulder straps and stuff, like it's just is going to add a layer of complexity to it that could be frustrating. But
Ah.
like it's okay, like we can do that if that's the design we feel that we need to do.
Right.
Actually, if
But if she's got just this satchel, that
What were you gonna say, Jake?
I was going to speculate as to if we went with a rucksack for the bag, would having those straps there maybe free us up to do something different with the dress?
um
Because I think the straps with the sort of what do you call that
So,
neckline with the shirt? That works really well, but
right. My concern
I
with
don't know.
a rucksack would be her hair.
right.
As someone who has long hair, like bags can be kind of a real pain in the ass.
This is true.
Because they either push your hair out and make it look super fluffy, or you have to tuck it in. And that's where I get most of my knots is actually from wearing jackets with hoods. They
Is
just
that
like
right?
eat my
Huh.
hair. Yeah. Just right at the base of my neck. I just get knots there.
Let's see, we can do like stuff like that.
Oh, that actually looks quite good. Though slightly gravity defying, but
Right.
looks
Well,
good.
not really worried about that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to fix that, it just has to be moved down. Just There, it's fixed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if that's as like horizontal vertically as Jake was looking for, you know.
No, yeah.
No, I think it works.
Yeah, it does add a really nice additional element to it.
And that might be a little small. Because I believe she has 90 potions in there.
It can still be like a bag of holding, you know.
Yeah, it's magically, it's enchanted or something.
Yeah, I would be more concerned with it just fitting proportions. Yeah, I think I actually preferred it a little smaller.
Like the smaller one.
Yeah. It's still not like that's not a small bag. That's larger
Yeah,
than most of the purses I carry, so when I carry them.
that's another thing we can do too. Like we talked about, like on the back, like what if I'm gonna come off to the side here for a second. We're gonna do some like bag design.
Ye bigs.
All right, so if we say this is her bag, like around her waist,
Hmm.
all right, so this is the front, this strap is the front, all right. Maybe on the back, since we were talking about the back, like what if the back of the satchel,
Had potions.
yeah, so when she needs to
Yeah.
pull out potions, instead of
She
getting
pulls
it
it
like,
out behind her
she
from.
pulls it out of her back instead of out of her bag. And so that's where the 6 potions are. They're on her bag and they're around the back. So when you do see the back, that gives it something interesting to go there. You know,
Yeah, and that also allows us for if she's riding the broom in one direction and she has to reach back to grab a potion, you don't have to
right,
worry about it just randomly spawning. It's when totally like she reaches back, you know that they're back there. When she pulls it out, it's like in her hand. That's
right,
it has that kind of ammo strap feel, but without being across the chest and super stereotypical ammo strap.
right, exactly.
Oh, I really like that.
What do you think about that idea, Jake?
No, that's good. I'm actually reminded of. I'm sure we've discussed this as an influence before, but Big Hero 6, where is it Honey
Oh,
Lemon?
yeah. Honey
The
lemon
character
with
with
all the
the
little
chemistry
bullets.
set
Yeah,
pulls her little. They're not potions, are they? They're just orbs of something out of the bag, but they. But seeing it like this makes me think of like a conveyor belt effect where she pulls the one closest to her and another one pops out of the bag. But I don't know if that would actually work.
Oh, well, I mean, but that doesn't necessarily have to be like animated, right? Because
right, yeah.
everything that we animate is like the front side of stuff at an angle, so
Well,
backs.
so I'm imagining, like, so here's her broom, you know. So if she's side saddle on here, when she leans forward to ride, you'll probably be able to see the back of her then. Like, do you like see? There's her
Well,
back.
yeah,
So you can see some potion. You'll just see some potions on there. You know, like it doesn't have to be specifically the one she's going to pull out. So
yeah.
as you can see some potions back there, you're like, oh, okay. Like, does that make sense?
No, it totally does.
But I think that like side saddle is going to be just fine for how she rides. Those are familiar.
On the broom with her,
Yeah, of
with its own
course.
hat. Adorable.
Yeah, exactly. so they kind of mirror each other. The bag might be maybe a little bit roundier. Yeah, something like that makes sense. Yeah, another fluke. That's something we've discussed. Yeah, we'll be using different shapes and colors to differentiate which potion's which, so it can read very quickly.
Yep. Yep.
I picked up my coffee mug. And I was like, oh, that's right. I already drank it all. This is a very sad moment. Like, oh. Cool. So, back to Luna. So she's got her finger gloves. I think the outfit generally is going to work. What about the hat?
Yeah, we need to figure out her hat. Uh, like I said, my normal feedback is on the original Western one. I like the flare up on 6, and I like a bunch of the shape on 5. I like having a big floppy rimmed hat. Um, Also, that picture that I sent of the chick wearing the black
Right.
hat. Like I like big rimmed floppy hats.
Keep it floppy. Gotcha. That's a big hat. Do we want to put some like flowers or anything like that on there too to kind of,
Maybe something.
you know, get some flowers and stuff, and then, or is that going to look too much like something like one of the Golden Girls would wear?
I don't think it looked too much like the Golden Girls. I'm a little concerned about the floatiness that her hat seems to be doing right
Yeah,
now.
it's very. Let's. Yeah, I was kind of trying to find a way to. Oh god, to have it so we can see both the like the under and the over, like the one that you sent me. That girl kind of has that going on. But
Right.
I'm going to not do that and go my own way.
Yeah. Um, so
Yes.
one thing about the curve of the hat is, do you think we should
Mhm.
have it curving forward or back? Because I figured if it was curving back, it would be like if she would go like when she's flying fast, it could like elongate more. Whereas with the
Yeah.
curve forward, I don't know if that it would have to like flip over. If that makes sense.
Right. Well, that would So if it was like this normally,
Hmm.
and when she gets going really fast, like the whole thing actually like uncurls like a spring, like
Right.
that's actually going to be a bigger change of motion.
Okay. It
Do you
just,
see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so that way when she stops, it goes all the way back around. Like
Oh, I
that's
think
good.
I'm boing.
Right. And so when she goes forward a little bit, maybe it just kind of straightens out like this, you know. And then when she goes all the way forward, when she's running, sprinting or whatever, it's like
Right.
woo, all the way back. And so you got this nice whipping arc. Like that big change of motion is going to feel really nice in the animation. But just like that's just like a nice motion thing. Like that doesn't mean we have to go that way. Like here, I can draw it the other way, and we can see what we like. I
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
I
like
just
I like it
wasn't
coming
sure.
forward because it's a little off kilter too.
Hmm.
Like traditional witch hats are always like kind of like this. Like they're always going backwards. So I kind of
Yeah.
like the forward just because it's
Alternative. Not,
it's alternate to that. Yeah. Too much there. Maybe do a little bit more here.
I don't know. I think I like the more pointy
Did you
one.
like it better before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you go too wide with the brim, it just starts looking like a sun hat, and
Yeah,
you
that's
lose
that's what
some
I
of
was
the.
feeling there.
It's actually another place maybe we could. What do you think? We could even get it curling that way.
Yeah. I like the curl. I just think it might be going too high up. If
Right.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, Photoshop, how magical you are.
Yeah.
I remember being blown away when I first saw someone editing like a really complex photo and just being like, "Let me just take this arm and turn it." And I'm like, "Ah, what? No, you can't do that."
Yeah, it's pretty awesome for rapidly exploring ideas and stuff. Yeah, I don't think adding any kind of weird flowers or ornaments is going to add anything. It's interesting enough as it is. It would just muddy it up. So what else is jumping out at you?
Well, in regards to the hat, it seems like it's curling off of her head on both sides.
A little bit. So it's kind of curling up. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. So it's like curling up here, but it's curling down here, you mean?
Hmm. Well, it just seems like the amount of fabric that's on her head would be just the inside of the cone versus I don't know. It seems like it's trying to like pop off her head a little, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit more. There's a little bit
Yeah.
more fabric on her
No, you're right.
head.
You're right. And actually, just yeah, yeah, cool.
She's looking really good.
We're getting there. Do you want her legs to be bare, or do you want her to have like leggings or anything?
Um,
Like bare is probably fine.
yeah, I was
I just
thinking bear.
yeah,
I don't
since
see it adding
she's got a lot of
much.
other stuff going on. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Also, I mean, she is young. I feel like young people aren't really prone to wearing leggings like with dresses and boots. Like, she wouldn't be wearing like nylon stockings or anything, you know?
Right.
Like,
I
but
could see her wearing like tights or something. Kids love tights, but
I don't think. Have you
she
worn
could do.
tights? I do not love tights. Tights are very uncomfortable, generally. But oh, yeah, like little socks above her boots.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah.
I was actually wondering about longer socks, but have one that's ridden down just to make it look a tiny bit disheveled, because it
I
feels
like that idea.
very neat for someone who's trampling through the wilderness.
I like that idea. Let's try that. So maybe she's got like kind of knee highs. This one, it's not quite, just not quite there. Hmm.
Maybe instead of knee high, or instead of over the knee, under the knee, and then like
Right.
lower. I understand your there. I was like, I get the concept, and I really like the idea of having a pair of her stockings pulled down. But yeah,
I think it was just too many horizontal bands bunched up around her knee line.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that better.
Hmm.
Cool. I don't think we ever agreed on like a skin color or ethnicity too. Like, do we want to nail that down?
Yeah. Does that mean we're gonna start
Like,
playing with colors overall then?
we're pretty close, but I don't know. Just in general, I was curious more than anything. Um, like, I'm not closing the book on this, but you
No,
know,
no, that's fine.
I was just kind of curious because I don't know. I'm kind of getting partial to a little brown witch. Like, maybe not necessarily a defined like culture, but just like non-white. Like, I don't know. When I was doing all the little Latin and Indian ones, it kind of grew on me. What do you guys think?
Would you want to keep the Latin name, Luna?
It is kind of a Latin name. I'd never even thought of that, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess not having her pale white makes sense anyway because she's going to be outside a lot, and I guess as a kid she would have been outside. Like kids are normally kids that don't have video games and TVs spend a lot of time outside anyway, so it wouldn't make sense to have her pale white.
Right. Well, we'll play with that when we get to colors then. Do we want to bust out a broom so she has a broom?
Yeah,
That's
let's bust out a
her broom.
broom.
So do we want to keep it kind of like we talked about before, where it's
Gnarly.
gnarly? Yeah. Maybe if it's a little more like this.
Yeah, so in regards to the different types of potions, there's definitely potions that she throws, and then there's potions that she consumes. There also might be potions that she like sort of chucks out of the bottle, but we haven't explored that too much yet. So it'd be the difference between throwing a potion and exploding in a circle doing AoE, and her consuming one, and then maybe one doing like a conal attack. The ones that we've considered. Let
Do
me
you
look
like?
at the.
So what?
Let me. I'm looking at the other rooms. No, I accidentally closed
Yeah.
the.
Tell me which ones you like, since we've got like
A ton.
45 rooms for you to
Yeah.
take. You know.
I think it's the Latin ones that I really liked. Let me pull them out. Yeah, so I really liked the gnarliness. Like it had a good level of it in number 3. What happened to the broom that we put away?
Oh, that's. So we actually have 2 brooms that we put away.
Yeah, that's very similar to the amount on number 3
Right.
in the Latin one. And then for the sweepy bit,
Yeah.
the
The
straw.
straw. Yeah.
Um, the
Here, I'll bring this up so people can see what we're talking about.
yeah. So for the straw here, I like the straw on number 1 bit. I like
Okay.
the straw on number 4.
I like the straw
Um,
on number 4 because it's dark. Like it's a little. That's kind of like different.
hmm and then if you go back to the Indian one, I kind of
Which,
like the straw on number 2, just kind of weird, different.
right. It's kind of threaded through this thing.
And then I also kind of like it because it kind of is a moon shape, and she's doing
Right.
a.
But yeah, we can. So we could like work some moon shapes into kind of the gnarliness. Do you want to try that?
I don't know about the
Or
gnarliness, but I was thinking if she added the moon shapes, like so, like there, like that's clearly kind of added, and then I do
right.
like the idea of having a charm on the broom, like
Okay. So like a little dangly
yeah,
something.
I think in the very very first thing of her, there's a charm. Let me,
Yeah, we had a little glowing, like it was a little lantern.
yeah, it was a little lantern or
I
something.
say we could definitely do that again.
Yeah, and or instead of like yeah, we could have a little lantern, or we could have a little moon charm that glows, or
Right.
something.
Oh, that would be cute. I like that if it's not the traditional, you know.
Lantern.
Yeah, exactly. So hold on, I'm gonna get rid of that. Actually, I'm just gonna get rid of all that. So I'm gonna do this guy. I'm gonna give it a nice kind of hook here on the end. And that's where we'll tie our little. Yeah, crescent moon's a little. Let's do an actual full moon.
Is that gonna be recognizable when it's shrunk down and in motion?
It'll probably just look like a little glowing ball dangling around. Yeah, it'll be. Yeah. So no, to answer your question, like the crescent moon, it's just so cliche. But okay, let's try it.
Let's see. Moons. Moons. What moon shapes? Ah, interesting.
What'd you
So
find?
if we want some non-traditional things, it seems one of the ones is I'm looking at it and they have a gemstone, and then they have the sliver of the moon on top of the gemstone. So the moon is actually blocking out the gemstone, and so it's sort of like inverse, like the
Oh, interesting.
um,
So, like, it's almost like this.
yeah. Except for what would be the glowy part would be the non-moon part.
Oh, gotcha. So,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So is that going to be recognizable
At the sizes that that's going to be on the screen, it's not going to be recognizable no matter
for
what it is.
anyone?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But in the concept art, in the cinematic, where it's like bigger on the screen, yeah. And it doesn't have to be flat too, like maybe.
Mm. There's also interesting ones of the crescent moon and then a charm hanging down from the top of it, so it's in the center. Yeah,
Um.
here,
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. That's kind of cool.
yeah.
Show me your links. Cool. Yeah. So I like that. So maybe it's even. All right, let me go ahead and move our bag here. So let's make it bigger, but also maybe dangling down a little bit further. And then, so it's like this with the dangly bit like that.
Hmm.
That's cool.
And the dingly but doesn't need to even be.
It could just be floating there, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic.
Right. Well, you know what I like about that? It almost reminds me of a anglerfish a little bit.
Oh, yeah. One of the ugliest creatures on Earth.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's beautiful.
In the dark.
I would make out with an anglerfish.
But I'm sure it would love to nom on your face too.
No. That's how you know it's love, when there's blood. That's what I used to say about my old cat. I had a cat, and she was kind of a bitch, so she loved to just claw at everything near her. And so I'd be walking by the ottoman, and she'd go and like break skin, blood, like, and I'm just like, "Aw, that's so cute." It's like
All right.
I don't know, just for whatever reason, I think it's cute. And so I came up with that little thing. It's like, oh, it's not love unless there's blood. Because other people, they would just bitch about it. It's like, oh my God, your cat just attacked me. I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, she likes you.
Yeah, she loves you. Nice. And then having the dark broom actually really helps give that moon more contrast.
Yeah. Let me kind of get that. We can get that side. So that's kind of interesting, a little different. Keep having the same problem. The broom is too short. Like could really be more like this.
Yeah. Especially if we do want her cat to ride on it with her, definitely is going to
Right.
need some.
Cool.
Uh,
I think.
I think it looks good. The only thing that I wonder is if you think about her writing on that, is which part's gonna be up? Or is it gonna look like sideways? Can you just
So,
grab it and like
yep, can do.
grab a copy of it?
You got it, dude. So, I was imagining it like this.
Yeah, that's why I figured you were. I just I'm used to brooms going up at the end. Do you like it going down?
I kind of do, but
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't really. So you like it more like that?
Not necessarily. I was just wondering. I think it does look better the other
I kind of
way
like.
in regards to the rest of the handle. I just don't know because it does. Yeah, the positioning of the, at least where it's tied makes it a sense for it like not bashing into the handle, the charm not bashing into the handle when she has it upright. Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it was the other way.
right.
No.
Yeah, I just.
So, here, actually, there. I got its own layer. I can do stuff with it. So the other way. Well, no, that's because you flipped it the wrong way. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's not
That's better.
great either. You like it
Well,
better?
I don't know. I like it a little bit better actually,
Well,
but
I was wondering if instead of
as like a thing to ride, I like it better.
yeah, well, so I was thinking of maybe still having that downward dip initially, but then at the end just starting up sooner.
Okay,
Is that
so
it's hard to explain what I'm talking of. I guess I hope I'm communicating this.
no, so let's go ahead and figure it out here. So, so you want there to be a dip down, but you want to come up sooner?
Yeah, but let me see if I can even
Like
attempt to do this.
like
But I
that?
wouldn't say quite like that. More of a like branchy, not like curve the other way going up.
Okay, so what you want is like this?
No, no, when I said curve the other way, I mean like how this is the curve is on the boat. That does look
Okay.
good though, actually. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
So let's try both ways. So we got like that. We can also do. So you're talking about like this. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, I'm not sure how. There's one of them. Where is it? One of your handles. I really like the curve on the top.
Sure. Let me see which one it is. I'll just copy
Ah,
it.
so I was thinking of the one of both 3 and 4 on the Latin ones have that.
3 and 4 on the Latin ones. So that's Indian, Latin. So 3 and 4. Which one do you like more, 3 or 4?
Can they have babies with the one that you had previously? I just like
Yeah.
that.
I don't see why not.
I do like how that it did dip and that allowed the charm to hang down in that kind of curve in area. But I do
Hmm.
like the very tip of it being that sort of upward little thick swoosh.
Ah, okay. Think I'm
That both,
finally.
yeah.
Think I'm with you now. So. So you like it being like this.
Yeah, that looks good. And then the charm can be at that little low point there, where it's
Right.
tied on. That's what I was trying.
So you're thinking kind of like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you think that one's too heavy? Think that should be shrunk a bit the tip there, or do you like the proportioning?
Kind of like how it's thick, thin, thick again.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Cool. So here's the part where I take this, hack it off, move it over here. When looking at it upright, it looks kind of weird. Like it comes out. Well, maybe it'll work. Worked sideways. All right, I've got a bunch of layers and crap here. I will need to clean that up. So 3, we never did anything with 3. Toss that. That's just the top. That should be the secondary thing, which I don't need. There. Hurrah! We did it.
Yeah, we were talking about how comfortable it would be to sit on it before, and we decided, yes, it's not going to be comfortable, but it's kind of expected to not be comfortable.
Right. It's suspension of disbelief. You know, it's like the whole logistics of witches riding brooms is ridiculous. So you just either you go with it or you don't. Yeah. I do a little bit of this cleanup stuff then, since we're
Or you do the Harry Potter thing and put bicycle seats on them.
right. That's well. I mean, that is another way to go, right? Like,
I also thought they looked really silly, but
well,
It doesn't.
Mad Eye
Oh,
Moody,
they
Mad Eye
have.
Moody ran a vac cleaner.
Well, I'm looking at the Nimbus 2000. It doesn't have a bicycle seat. It has leg rests.
Right. So you kind of like rested your body, like your torso, against the handle, and your feet. Yeah. So it was a little bit different than like a witch. I kind of well in Harry Potter they still wrote it upright, so it still didn't make any sense. You just gotta go with it.
Hey, and people play Quidditch all the time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Okay, so cool.
Yeah, I can see a bit of leather helping the crotch
You mean like a
area.
wrap around the
Yeah, I don't know. I think with how busy the handle is already with its knots that the leather might be
right.
too much. But that's something we can play with when we're doing color, because I think the color of a wrapping would be important if it's added.
Right. How about the hair? I kind of just really quickly put it in that time. Do we want
well, for we to have this conversation, we have to finish our discussion on ethnicity.
I mean that's fair, but her hair is going to be purple, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, her hair is purple.
That's the desire for the hair.
Rather, you know, it might be a dark purple or a light purple, but it's gonna be a purple. It's gonna be a set color, and it's gonna be an alternate color. Like we kind of already decided on that, I guess. You know, unless we were wanting to reopen that, but like I'm fine with that. Having a nice iconic-y color, I think will be good.
Yeah, yeah. So we were talking about having it be a non-natural color, and that's nice because it does help give the character an additional defining characteristic. And then of colors for the hair to be, which are non-natural, I thought purple was the most fitting. because like red can be, a suggestion of just normal like red hair. Green is a little bit too prone to blending in with the green environments that she's going to be in a lot. Pink, I was a little, too girly for my tastes. It just, I don't know, pink hair. Something about bubblegum pink hair just doesn't, I don't know, just doesn't feel right. Well, for her character, at least. I mean, blue's okay, but I think with the blue and the waviness, that would be very ocean-like. It's just like the purple. Purple is royal. Purple is, gender neutral. Purple is kind of a nice.
Yeah. I mean, there are other options too. You could go like pastels. You could go like lavender. You could go,
Right, yeah.
like there's certainly like interesting, weird places to go. Like if you wanted to explore, like there's like electric blue. There's, but I like the purple too. Just in general, I'm liking a darker purple personally than like a lighter or bright purple. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking a darker purple. Probably as dark as the tags that you put on all of your pieces.
Yeah, I've been using purple a lot recently. But
I
all
also
right,
think
cool.
purple's like a very sky-like color. Dark moon color. Purple and
Sure.
blue. Night sky. So for her bangs, those bangs, I kind of like the bangs in the Indian Inspired 3 as well. There was another one. And in the Latin Inspired 2.
Yeah, Latin 2 here. Yeah, and then Indian 3. Yeah.
Um, I kind of like how her bangs are now, but they remind me a little too much of actual Disney characters that have hair like that. I don't know. It
Okay.
seems like so that would be one thing to play with. I wouldn't say that I'm not convinced. Okay, I'm not saying I don't like those. I just want to see what
I'm not
other
married to.
yeah.
See you later. When it comes to character design stuff, I ain't married to nothing. So let's try. One thing I kind of like about the bigger hair is like it feels like it's kind of popping out of the hat.
Right. Well, so you can have it pop out of the hat by just having the hat start to come over her hair in the front there too, instead of her hair necessarily needing to be. Yeah. I don't think I like the curly Q, like the one in the middle of her forehead. Clean her.
Let's. Oh, I hate it when I do that. In my
Which
zealousness,
layer is it on?
in my zealousness earlier, I accidentally drew hair on the wrong layer. So let's go ahead and make sure all that's gutted out. Cool.
Yeah, I really like the how her hair looks on 3 at the end of the ponytail, where it has, it's got like a few little curls here. She has some big waves and some small waves.
Okay, so let's really get going with the wavy then.
Well, yeah. Starting off with like the big natural curve at like the top of the ponytails, and then like building up as well. That's how hair works. Like I have curly hair, long. What happens is near the ends, that's where it's the curliest, but near the top, it gets sort of like
Right.
pulled down, weighed down.
Oh my god, I'm doing it again.
Wrong layer.
Yep. So, there.
Locking that layer so you don't.
Yeah, we'll make this mistake again. I shouldn't need to do anything else with the base anyway, so. So we'll kind of start and then over here.
Yeah.
And then this should kind of mirror that a little bit more. Oops.
Yeah. I'd say 2 bumps instead of 3 bumps total. Like those top two. Oh, okay.
Something like that, or
I'd have flipped
I
the
like the
two
other.
that got
Yeah,
combined. I'd have.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the balance there is good.
Kind of like how it's mostly. Well, actually, one thing I liked about this side is it almost got this little. Like part of it's actually kind of trying to spring back up before it gets kind of pulled back down.
Um,
I think
is there a way to make that a slightly lower height, or it's just because it's the same on both sides at pretty
sure.
much the exact height, and it makes you kind of, well, it almost looks like it's a haircut there, and her hair's curling up at the ends before
Right.
you notice the part below her arm.
Actually, yeah. Make it a little bit bigger. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
What?
Hmm.
Hair.
It's nothing in particular. It's just like, eh.
Well, one thing that can be flexible is how her hair is drawn in each photo, because your outfit might stay the same, but your hair changes every second, really. So,
Right. Maybe what I'd like to see. Oh, look what I found. like spelunking for hair on the wrong layer. Like, that's so long. I wish it was a little more wide.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you have it wider previously?
I did. What I think it'd be cool is like we could. Okay, now it's like non-trivially long. Hmm. Something like that.
Or did you just add a little bit more in front of the forehead? Is that it?
So before it was like sweeping across, like a,
I see.
and so I kind of broke that line up.
Whoop. I'd cover just a little bit more of that very top peak there. Yeah.
Like you have to consider too, like her eyebrows are right here.
That's true.
Like she has all this forehead that's already being covered. So it's like if anything, it would be nice to get her hair a little bit out of those brows because those are going to be
Oh,
important
yeah,
for
yeah,
clothing.
yeah. Yeah,
So
okay. Yeah, I mean, having that looks fine. I guess it was just like having it as a single like peek up into her.
right. So actually, maybe let's bring it up a little bit.
I feel like this is slowly coming back to what it started as. With the...
Yeah, pretty much. That's basically how it goes. I think something like that.
It seems like her hair magically disappears between her eye and her mouth on her right on that side.
Between
Like with
her
well,
eye.
with she has so much like bang
I
whatnot
mean, like,
there.
should be like this. You mean like?
Yeah, or that or like have something in that area, like that cheek area. Either way, I don't think that bang needs to be attached to her necessarily, but it did look kind of. She's surrounded by hair, except for like there's this big patch right here, where there was no hair. So
Right. Do we want the hair to cover her ears?
I don't know. That's
Hmm.
I think it actually looks good covering her ears.
Yeah. It'll be easier too on the animation perspective. Yeah. Oh, look, people were talking on the. I forgot to look over the chat. Sorry, guys. Nymthora, like the one that was curlier, looked like Disney characters.
Which it's like I said, returning close to that.
So, uh, I agree. Nice beard. That would be pretty good.
Yeah,
So,
I'm very jealous of yours, Wesley.
not too much. Some guys they go too far. Subtlety. Yeah, the curly hair falling over his shoulder could look cool, Slayer Knight. I'm kind of avoiding those kind of things where
Kind of
there's going to be
hated
like a
you.
layering thing because that's going to add a lot of complication to the animation. So that's why I'm not having hair falling. Like, yeah, I don't think it's going to add so much to the design that it's worth the hassle. I've certainly done that before, whether I work on a character or prototype or something. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have this one thing that's a really cool idea, and then takes up all of your time, and all you do is just sit there just cursing it. It's like, God damn it, why did I do this? Why did I decide to have this one stupid element? I just wasted 4 hours on it. I did not want to get caught in that trap. Like I want our design choices to, like, the consequences for them to be proportional to what they add. But I agree that could look really, like, that would look nice. Like, I think hair, like, could be pretty cool. Cool. So is there any other sort of design, like outfit, hair, anything else that we want to touch on or mess around with before we go into color?
Um, I don't know if we do want her to start with a different hat that she then gives to her familiar later.
Right. Yeah, probably.
So I don't know when we want to design that. That's
Well,
I
actually,
can see leaving that for later or doing it now.
we'll design that when we design the familiar.
Okay, sounds good. I guess yeah, we should make sure it looks good on the familiar more so than Luna, because it
Right.
doesn't matter if she's getting rid of it like
Right.
at the start. So,
Exactly.
um, so her gloves, do we want them just to be fingerless gloves? Do we want them to be like, I mean, I guess probably not lace fingerless gloves. That seems like impractical. Is there anything we want to touch on in regards to those? I guess that has to do with color too. Like basically how they're gonna look. You can add to them. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think just as like a design thing, I think the fingerless gloves will work fine. I agree with you that it sort of adds a nice edge, without going overboard. um,
I'd say color then. Color.
are there any like necklaces or charms or anything else that she might want to wear on her person? Oh my god, it's so dark. Those are some gray skies. Like I'm like, oh my god, is it so late? No, it's only 3:30. It's
Yeah, it's super dark.
guess I'm
Oh,
not gonna go out later.
we should consider doing lunch because it's restaurant week the next 2 weeks. By the
I
way,
don't know what that means.
it means that you can go to a fancy restaurant and get a 2 or 3 course meal for $15, where it would normally be like
What?
30. So
Dude, that sounds fantastic. Yeah, whenever.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you Like, name the time and the place, and I'll do my best to get there. Like, I'm so down. That sounds amazing. Plus, I just want to try more restaurants around town, so
Yep.
works out pretty well.
I live right behind a restaurant which is really really well rated and one of the best in town, but it's like super stupid expensive. And so they do. So restaurant week is $15 lunches and $30 dinners. A dinner there would normally be like 80-ish. So I made reservations to go there with Matt finally.
Nice.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds.
but yeah, color. I think color will be fun.
Chlor.
Color.
Yes. Let's do it.
Color.
So, to accommodate that, I am going to make a few changes to the layer structure here. Actually, I'm just going to combine them. That'll be fine. We'll call that 2. Toss those in there for posterity. What resolution do I have? 3000? That's plenty. All right. Call that base. Call that shade. Shade. It's dark. I'm going to turn on the light because yikes.
Yeah, I hate working in the dark. I kept my light on all day today.
That feels a little better. All right. Let's see here. Just to catch up on the chat really quick.
Yeah, I've missed some things as well. I sent Matt in with pies to someone who apparently wasn't working today, so I should have probably checked that first.
Oops. So, let's see here. Let's see here. We've already done a fair amount of sketches. We've kind of kept similar stair style because we've already explored the other kinds. Like we're pretty much already kind of come to the one that we like. I agree, itty bitty. Like the detail of the character. Like we're trying to keep the shapes relatively simple. There will be times, like for dialogue, where she is going to be relatively big on the screen. So like there has to be a little bit of fine detail there, but for the most part, we're keeping it relatively simple. Like we're just gonna be letting the silhouette and stuff, like the dress is almost completely one flat shape, you know. So we're gonna be letting that kind of do the work. Let's see here. I'm not sure about the paper versus digital stuff here. You prefer to sketch on paper? Okay, I see. I like sketching on paper too, but the flexibility of digital is just can't beat it. Ideally, I'd get like a Cintiq or something, but I don't have that, so we deal with this.
Well, ideally, you'd have what?
Oh, a Cintiq, like a monitor that you can actually like write on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those big fancies. But that's fine. My like 10-year-old tablet does just fine. Uh, and yeah, you were asking about like the sheets that we did, the design sheets. Like we were doing things like this before, where we just sort of like iterating on, like just sort of exploring ideas, specifically from different cultures and stuff. But we did some more traditional Western witches as well. And then the idea was just to sort of pick elements that we like, and then we go from there. Let's see. Anything else here? So yeah, actually, ideally for me at this point, I'd like to get like a Surface Pro 3 or something like that. Like I think that's a really nice combination of flexibility and functionality for like art and development. Plus, you can take it places. So yeah, okay, cool. We're caught up on the chat. So colors, hooray!
Go through, cut up. Yeah.
Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lock the base so I can just color right over it. So there's a couple different ways we can do this. We can kind of come up with color palettes, or we can just wing it.
I think my first big question is: are we keeping the dark on light scheme, or is
Not
that
this.
open to
No,
variations?
that's totally open. That is 100% open. So here we can start with that. But we'll start by giving her purple hair.
Wizardry.
Dark magics are afoot. So, like maybe we wanted to do can make the shirt a darker color. And then for the shirt, red, so let's go something like this.
She's like a strawberry chocolate.
Oh, that is kind of what it looks like, yeah. Let's
It's making me hungry.
actually maybe that's a little too light. We've got a gray background, so I should probably keep it sort of in context.
Somebody says they use swatches.
Yeah, that's the way we can do it too. Like
Or they just put a
said, we
link.
can come up with palettes or we can wing it.
Oh, I am fine winging it.
That's kind of, yeah. Palette would probably make sense from like a being intelligent about it way, but this is more fun.
I should use one of these for the website.
What's that?
The the uh the most popular color palettes.
Oh yeah. Oops. Yeah, I think actually in general, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm agreeing. We should do this differently. So since the world that we're running around in is mostly greens and blues and stuff like that, it would be nice if
Got reds.
Luna had some orange, red, yellow, like she
Right.
should be warmer. And her hair is purple. So maybe we can start with some orange.
Creamsicle.
Creamsicle is always a good stuff. One of my favorite combinations of colors. Saturation, that's fine. And so the other thing, so we've got this purple. Do we want to? And then we'll probably use some kind of dark color, almost like a black. So if we're going to use that, oops. So what's driving me nuts on this? I was just coloring over the big block of color.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't, without any line art around it, doesn't feel like anything's holding it. So it's sort of getting lost.
Floating.
So what I'm actually going to do, yeah. This. It's going to take a minute here and make everything just line art. So it's yeah, people are sending us pallets too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just up and take a look at them. Yeah, I like those. Yeah, those are good.
Color palettes.
Yay!
Very interesting.
All right, then we'll do the hair too. It's also sort of like a mass.
Line art.
Little Linert.
Ah, the Valve design document for Dota.
That's a good read.
Oh yeah, you've consumed it. All right,
I
guys.
have.
Thank you. Apparently, it talks well about color.
Yeah, especially like saturation, keeping the upper part there, like the face, torso, stuff like that. That's like your lighter, more saturated, more detailed part, since that's where you're going to want to draw attention to. And then your like lower body, feet and stuff, they make that less because it's just less important. It's all pretty good stuff. Cool. Then I'm going to copy that over to all of our other friends here. Awesome. All right, so shall we start this again? Like this time. Yeah, let's start with this guy. One of the ones that they posted in the chat. Okay, again, nice and small. Let's see here. Print screen. I don't know if there's an easier way to save that, so look, there it is.
If you Alt A or Alt print screen, it'll just copy that one window that you have up.
Oh, that is excellent. I've never had to deal with that before.
Yeah, I only have learned it recently, and that's just because of all the stuff for Stumbling Cat.
Excellent.
Are you planning on grabbing the colors exactly as they appear, or taking those hues and applying them to your own, basically shifting the values up and down?
Um,
Probably some
well,
shifting.
they'll get shifted. I'll probably start with them as they appear, just see how they look.
Because
Oh,
they're all very mid-tony. It's got to be a better way of saying that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like this whole setting is mid-tony because let's change that. Like when everything's gray, that puts me in a mid-tone context. So changing it to white, sort of, in my head anyway.
Oh, no, I didn't mind the grey, because that's a pretty similar colour to... Pretty similar, what's it called? Well, tone to most of the backgrounds are going to be up against in the
Well,
game.
yeah. Like I know the lighting conditions are going to be. Well, here we'll go back. There now. Now I can grab this guy. Green. Back over here.
I guess I'm asking if we can return to that, to my original question of having a scheme of dark on light. How do we want to handle that? Because I think that's as important, if not more, so than the actual colors.
Right. Um.
yeah, because that doesn't have any of like super light colors.
Right.
Basically,
Exactly. It's up to us
if we
to decide how we
switch the game
interpret
to
that.
black and white, it should still look good. Is
Yeah.
my philosophy here.
Yeah.
Love colorblind people. They're people too.
Well. I feel like that can change. Like. I feel like it can look good with the jumper being dark. I feel like it can be good with the jumper being light. Like I think it'll be when we do these. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, we'll be shifting them darker and lighter to see what works.
I have a hard time picturing of what things look like in black and white. I'm gonna pull it up and brute force it.
That's probably a little light. I'm also going to change my tool here.
I think my GIMP is embarrassed by your Photoshop and is refusing to open.
guess we'll stick with that.
Ah, yeah. Like, I wouldn't have expected that in black and white, that red and that green are like the exact same.
Hmm. Yeah, it's all, yeah, the midtones are all, yeah. Although, now that you mention it, a little bit more contrast would be nice there.
I just tried to use the toolbar in the screenshot of the of everything. There we go. Now I fixed my camera.
Still too light.
Mm.
So Jake, since you've got a lot of like sort of opinions on stuff, do you want me to toss you this file and you can like do your own color iterations? Like
Sure, that sounds fun.
just instead of like sitting here staring at me doing it, like
Oh,
probably
I just grabbed the screenshot and I'm like trying to be able to
right.
do that myself too.
Everybody do it. So here, I'll
Yeah,
actually just send you the PSD and then that'll be way better.
that's probably easier, yeah.
I haven't saved it before yet anyway, so we'll go ahead and do that.
That's scary. Must really trust your everything to not crash.
Yep. I do. Plus auto backup, so I'm not freaking out too much.
Ah, auto backup. I see.
That's okay. So, where's the Slack? And I can send that to you.
Is the file large as a PSD?
I don't think it's too bad. Let's see. It is.
My next question is,
Uh,
what can Slack handle?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out because it's almost 10 megabytes.
You always shoot email too.
Yeah, or put it on Drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really need the PNG with the line art.
That's a good point. Yeah, you can set the layers yourself. So yeah. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. Well, it certainly
Chat's
wants
asking for a copy as well.
Everyone wants to color it.
Everybody wants the color. Here, I'll upload it on Imgur. It's the Luna coloring book.
Cool. I'll grab this and I'll throw it up on Imager if you're okay with people.
I was gonna some branding on it and just kind of.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna do that, that's good. Our Luna.
This will people come across this weird thing like, wait, what?
Luna color sheet. Whee!
It probably doesn't need to be that huge. It's still perfectly manageable. Cool. Background back on. Back over here. Upload.
You're just gonna throw it on Imager.
Yeah. Upload complete. Just waiting for it to toss me the link. No, I don't. I don't want to crop it. I meant for it to be that big. Here you go, chat people. Well, that certainly is colorful. I'm like looking at that, like, huh.
So, why do you do color tests with a gray background?
I like gray background just in general. White's just so, it's so bright. It just, I feel like it just distracts the crap out of me. So like I do all my sketching with gray. Like I work in gray. Well, no, it's not probably the explanation you were looking for, but
Oh, no, I mean that's fine. I was curious.
yeah, yeah. For me, white it blows out my eyes. It's like ugh, it's like blinding. So
I can see that.
I'd rather just the gray, like plus white. It's just so contrasty with everything too. It'll make dark colors look darker than they are. Like just yeah, gray is just so neutral.
Coloring, coloring.
Everybody color, 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 color. It's potions color time. I'll get the big box of crayons.
Oh, cat. Um, so lots of people use gray.
Apparently. I'm not surprised. No, too pink.
How?
Actually, you know what? I can do this so much more intelligently.
How?
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm being needed.
Ah, yes. Got to make that bread.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Isn't it right, Calcifer? Oh, yeah. Man, I shouldn't have worn a. I wasn't really planning on being on a stream today, so I just wore a black shirt and I'm sitting on a black chair with a black cat. So I'm just like a floating head with glasses.
Yeah, you're our very own Max Headroom. Wrong tool. Gonna color this in just once using completely flat colors, and then I can just do lasso, like magic
Yeah,
wand
yeah.
color replacements. It's gonna be way faster than repainting this every time. So I guess is what I should have done before I sent that to you.
You can always send it again.
You are correct.
Certainly would be easier for me. I'm not a
Right, exactly.
particularly
So yeah, if you just want to wait a minute, I'll get you.
It's alright. I was gonna play with that like strawberry-esque strawberry chocolate colors thing that we
Oh,
were
cool.
playing with before.
Yeah.
I guess I can be lazy and do this the
Do it. Be lazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by being lazy, I'm like just using the paint bucket, throwing it in.
I say that'll get you most of the way there. Oops. Not what I'm looking for. There we go.
Coloring. Oh man, when I was in elementary school, a guy came and we had like an assembly and he was teaching everyone how to draw. And he had this song that has been stuck in my head for like my entire life after hearing this. And it was just shade, shade, shade. We love to shade. And he just anytime he was shading anything, he just
Ah, fantastic. Thanks, guy. You can see the places where I messed up. That's all right.
I would say anatomy is super important to know if you're drawing people. I don't think it's super important when you're doing like concept art for like design of costumes and color palettes, but I think if you're doing like the actual art, like final art, like you need to know bone structures and things like that. Even if you want to do cartoon versions of them, it just